Good morning students, welcome to our next lecture of data structures and algorithms. In our previous lecture we discussed about stack. What is the meaning of stack? We also discussed that stack is a linear data structure in which data is stored in a proper sequence. So in that we studied that stack is a linear data structure. We also studied about a simple algorithm of how we can implement a simple algorithm of Fibonacci of calculating the factorial of a number. So in the introduction of stack we mainly discussed about the terminology that we will be frequently using throughout our topic stack. So today's topic is stack operations. In our previous lecture we discussed what is stack, what are its types. So now we will study that what are the stack operations. So basically we are having two main stack operations. It is one of the most important topics of stack, that what operations can be performed on stack. That's why we are studying it. So it is one of the most important topic from exam point of view. We have mainly two operations of stack. First is push operation and second one is pop operation. We will discuss them individually. So let's start with push operation. In stack we discussed in our previous lecture that stack is based on LIFO principle. LIFO principle means the element, the data element that we are inserting in our stack data structure, the data element that is inserted last in the stack will be the first element to be removed from the stack. So while inserting any new data element or deleting already existing data element, we will always keep the principle of stack in mind. So for inserting any new data element into the stack and or deleting an already existing data element of the stack will always be based on the LIFO principle. So let's start with push operation. In push operation, as we discussed, push operation means whenever we are inserting any new data element in our stack, that operation of inserting any new data element in the stack is known as push operation. That's why we are calling it push operation. We can understand this push operation or inserting of any new data element in stack through this example. We are having an empty stack here. This is our first step of push operation. We are having an empty stack. Empty stack means we are having a stack data structure. In that stack data structure no element is present. We are having it empty stack. As we discussed earlier, the condition of empty stack is top equals to -1. We discussed in our previous lecture that when we get the value of top equals to -1, that means our stack is empty. So that's why we have shown here an empty stack, and the empty stack contains the value of top equals to -1. Now after this first step, we first created an empty stack. In our second step we are inserting an element, we are inserting a data element 10 in our empty stack. So we are inserting our first data element, that is 10, in our empty stack. So after pushing first element, first data element, that is 10 in stack, the value of top will increment by 1. Whenever we are inserting any new element in our stack data structure, the value of top will always increment by 1. So always keep this thing in mind. Whenever we are inserting, we can only insert one element at a time, and for inserting one element at a time the value of top will always increment by 1. That's why after pushing first element 10 in our empty stack, the value of top incremented by +1, because previously the value of top was minus 1. Now after inserting the first element, the value of top will increment by 1. So minus 1 we will plus 1 because our value of top is incrementing. So minus 1 and plus 1 will give us the value 0. So after pushing the first element into the stack, the value of top will become 0. Similarly, in next step, after inserting the first data element 10, we are inserting second data element 20 in our stack. Now for inserting second data element in our stack, we will insert 20, and similarly for inserting 20, the value of top will again increment by plus 1. So in previous step the value of top was 0. Now after inserting 20, the value of top will become, previously the value of top was 0. After inserting 20, the value of top will increment by 1. So we will add plus 1. Now the value of top will become 1. So after inserting 20 into our stack, the value of top will become 1. Similarly, after inserting the second element, we are inserting a third element 30 in our stack. So for inserting third element in our stack, we will again insert 30 and the value of top will again increment by plus 1, and now the value of top become equals to 2, top equals to 2. So in this way we can insert a new data element in each step into the stack, but the thing that we will always keep in mind is that whenever we are inserting any new data element in stack, the value of top will always increment by 1. So whenever we are inserting a new data element, we are also incrementing the value of top by 1. So this was the basic push operation of stack, in which we are inserting element into an empty stack. So let's understand this operation through an algorithm. We have written here an algorithm of push operation. Algorithm states that let stack is an array. We are taking this stack data structure as an array, and that array is having max elements for implementing the stack. That array contains the maximum number of elements for implementing the stack. Maximum number of elements means we can store n elements in our stack array. So that's why we are taking here max elements. Now the first step is, we will begin our algorithm, we will begin our insertion of data elements in stack. Now the second step states that check for stack overflow. Now the condition arises, if we want to insert some new elements in stack. So for inserting some new elements in stack, first of all we will check whether our stack is overflow or not. If our stack is overflow, we just cannot insert any single element in that stack. So before inserting any new element in stack, we will first check whether our stack is overflow or not. So for checking the stack overflow, we are implementing a condition if top equals to max minus 1. This is the condition which we will apply to check whether our stack is overflow or not. Here max means the maximum number of elements that we are taking to store it in our stack array. So for checking the condition of stack overflow, we will implement this if condition if top equals to minus 1. Now if top equals to minus 1 condition gets fulfilled, gets true, that means if our stack is full, stack is overflow, we cannot insert any single element in that stack and our program will get returned. So that's why we are checking. After checking if top equals to max minus 1, if this condition becomes true, if this condition becomes true means if stack is overflow, then our system will give us a message, will show us a message that overflow, that our stack is overflow and we cannot further insert any new data element in stack, and our program will return back, and in this way our if statement will end. Now if our stack is not overflow, that means if this condition, if top equals to max minus 1 gets false, if this condition gets false, then we will insert a new element in the stack. For implementing a new element in the stack, what we will do, we will implement step 3. Step 3 states that increment top by 1. Now whenever we are inserting any new element in stack, we are always incrementing the value of by top by 1. So this condition of stack overflow, after getting false, we will insert the new element in stack and increment the value of top by 1, and by incrementing the top value by 1, we will set the value of top is equals to top plus 1. In this way, whenever we are inserting a new element, the value of top will always increment by plus 1. In next step, now after incrementing the top by 1, the num that we are inserting, the num or the data element that we want to insert in our stack will be added to the stack, and it will be shown using the statement stack top equals to num. Now this statement means the new element that we want to insert in our stack will get stored at the top of the stack, at the top position of the stack. So the new number or the new data element that we are inserting will get stored at the top of the stack, and after inserting the new element at the top of the stack, our program will return. So this was the algorithm of push operation. That means whenever we are inserting any new data element, how we can insert that new data element into the stack. So this was the introduction, the example and the algorithm of push operation. Now after push operation, there comes another operation on stack, that is pop operation. Push and pop operation are opposite to each other. That means in push operation we were inserting new data element into the stack, but in pop operation what we are doing, we are deleting the already existing data elements from the stack. So for deleting the already existing data elements from the stack, what we will do, in inserting we were checking for stack overflow. That means we were checking if stack is already overflow, we cannot further add any element to the stack. But in pop operation we will check for stack underflow. Underflow means if our stack is already empty, then we cannot delete any element from the stack. So the example of pop operation is, we are having a stack in which we have stored 3 elements. First one was 10, 20 and 30. The value of top here is 2. So we are having a stack with 3 elements. After deleting first element, that is 30, the element stored at the top will be removed first. So after deleting the top element, that is 30, from the stack, the value of top will decrement by 1. In push operation, the value of, whenever we were adding any new element into the stack, the value of top was incrementing by 1, but in pop operation the value of top will always decrement by 1, and after decrementing the second element, that is 20, the value of top again decremented by 1, and now the value of top became 0. So now let's understand this example with an algorithm. This algorithm is for pop operation. In this algorithm we are having a stack as an array which is having maximum number of elements for implementing the stack. Now we will begin our algorithm. For deleting any already existing element, we will first check for stack underflow. Stack underflow means we will first check if our stack is already empty or not. If our stack is empty, we cannot delete any element. So we will check for stack underflow. Stack underflow condition can be checked using if top equals to -1. If top equals to -1 condition gets fulfilled, that means if top equals to -1 gets true, then the system will give us a message underflow. That means stack is underflow and no element can be removed from the stack, and our program will exit and the if structure will end. But if this stack underflow condition, that is if top equals to -1 gets false means our stack is not empty, and if stack is not empty, that means we can easily delete an element from the stack. So third step will get implemented if this condition top equals to -1 gets false. Now if top equals to -1 gets false, that means we are having certain number of elements in our stack and we can delete that certain number of elements. So for that we will remove the desired element that is on the top of the stack, and we will remove that number from the stack using the statement set num is equals to stack top. That means the number that we will delete, the number that we will remove will be removed from the stack top. After the number is removed from the stack top, the value of top will decrement by 1. The value of top will decrement by 1, and we will set the value of top by top -1, and after that our program will exit. So in this way we can implement pop operation on stack. So these two were the main operations of stack, push and pop. In push operation we were inserting new data elements into the stack. Before inserting new data elements, we were checking the condition of stack overflow. If stack overflow condition was true, we cannot further add any new element into the stack, and if stack overflow condition gets false, we can easily insert a new element one by one into our stack, and whenever we are inserting a new element in our stack, the value of top will always increment by 1. But in pop operation we were first checking that whether our stack is underflow or not. If stack is underflow, that means there is no data element in the stack, and if there is no data element, we cannot delete any element from that stack. So if stack underflow condition was fulfilled, our program got exit, and if structure also ended. And if the stack underflow condition when get false, that means there are certain number of elements in the stack, then we implemented the pop operation and we removed the number that was stored on the top of the stack, and after removing that number on the stored on the top of the stack, the value of top was decremented by 1. So in this way we can implement push and pop operation. This was one of the most important topics of stack from exam point of view. I hope you all have understood. Thank you very much.